Hello guys and welcome back to ProEducator. Today's lesson is on the scientific method, so let's dive right into it. What is the scientific method? The scientific method is a set of procedures to invest a scientific question, usually used for scientific experiments. When scientists are trying to figure something out, they usually have to make an experiment or something to figure out the answer, and they always use the scientific method. There are 6 steps to the scientific method. The first one is an observation. Second, with the observation you must form a question, and with that question you make an hypothesis, and then you conduct an experiment, and then you make an analysis, and then you conclude and communicate your results. Step 1. An observation. When making an observation, you must use your senses to notice something that is happening around you or something that is happening in the world. You must use your 5 senses to make an observation. Example, that cat spots a rodent, or chicken smells different than fish, or concrete feels different than carpet, something like that. Step 2. Ask a question. Using the observation you made, you must ask and form a question about why it is doing what it is doing. Example, why is the cat stalking the rodent? Or why does the concrete feel different from the carpet? Or why does the chicken smell different than the fish? Something like that. Next step. Step 3. An hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated guess of an outcome of something. It must be testable. So it must be in if-then form. For example, if this occurs, then this will happen. Or if the independent variable is changed, then the dependent variable will do this. Example, if the cat is hungry, then the cat will try to catch and eat the rodent in this scenario, or anything else that can feed the cat in a different scenario. Another example, if the concrete feels different from the carpet, then the concrete is harder. Makes sense. Something like that. Step 4. An experiment. The experiment stage of the scientific method is the action of testing a hypothesis to see if the outcome is true to your hypothesis or false to your hypothesis. Most of the time, it is necessary for you to go back and rework your steps. For example, it is a good idea to conduct your experiment multiple times. When you're conducting an experiment, you must know the experimental variables. There are 4 of them. The independent variable is the thing that the person running the experiment changes between trials on purposely. The dependent variable is the thing that changes due to the independent variable changing, aka the result. The control variables is the standard for comparison. So if you're testing what makes the plant grow the fastest, water would be the control, since it's the standard, and you would compare it to the others, like soda or juice or whatever liquid you'd use. And then there's the constants. Constants is the thing that stay the same, and it doesn't affect the result of the experiment at all. In a good experiment, there'd usually be many constants. Step 5. The analysis. The analysis is the stage of the scientific method where you record the data in written sentences and determine if it is consistent with your hypothesis. If it isn't, figure out what is wrong. If it's a random error or a systematic error. Step 6. Conclude and communicate results. When you're writing a conclusion, there are 5 parts to writing it. It must be written in a paragraph form, It must interpret your results. It must state if the data supports or rejects the hypothesis. It must list possible errors in the experiment. It also must make recommendations for further experiment. Then communicate your results. This is the end of today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and share this video with your friends. Until next time.